What's up, guys? Welcome to Calculating Protein and Calories.
Leveling up.
Oh, leveling up. We have been hitting our calories. Now it's time to get some protein. Focus on the minimum amount of protein and hit those caloric targets. And that is exactly what we are going to cover in this slideshow. So let's get started.
All right.
So what happens when you have a calorie and a protein target? Well, you know how many calories you need to eat per day to hit your goal. You know the minimum amount of protein you need to sustain and build muscle.
What now? So like she said in the other video, when you're learning about hitting calories, that's like step one, doing this, leveling up, having a protein minimum helps to make sure that, like it says, you're sustaining muscle mass or strength. That way, moving forward, it doesn't become harder and harder to continue to lose weight or to burn fat, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is the next step in that pyramid, that nutritional hierarchy that you watched.
All right.
First, let's talk about some calories here. All right.
Calories are the amount of energy that your body needs to fuel itself each day. So it's like fuel in the tank. They are the base and the foundation, like we talked about, for the nutritional hierarchy pyramid. The amount of calories you consume is based on your goal and what your body requires to operate on, which is unique to everyone. Calories attribute to the change in your body weight.
Macronutrients is exactly what makes up your total amount of calories. So those are those like, oh, you know, if it fits your macros, I count my macros. So macronutrients make up your total calories. They are your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats, or carbs, as people like to call them as well. Each macronutrient actually holds a certain amount of calories to fuel your body. So that's how they make up your total calories. Now, we're going to talk about protein.
All right. I like protein.
Yes, he does.
It is the most important macronutrient. It holds 4 calories per gram. Helps with muscle building, sustainability, and growth. Also helps with, I don't know if it's coming up, satiation, feeling full.
Appetite
there it is. Boom.
And satiety.
Hey.
We know who made this presentation.
There you go. It also helps with body repair. Helps immunity, health, and antibodies.
All right. Calories. So calories will help change your weight.
Mm-hmm.
Protein and calories will help change your physique.
Ooh, this is where you start to look better, not just look smaller.
This is exactly. So how do you actually change your weight?
Ooh, deficit.
Well, calorie changes. There's different types of calorie changes. We got a caloric deficit. We have caloric maintenance, which is no change in our weight. And then we have a caloric surplus, so excess calories. All right, let's talk about a caloric deficit.
All right.
So a caloric deficit is when your body has less calories to operate on in life. Less calories means you're going to lose some weight. A caloric deficit is created by consuming less calories than what your body needs to actually maintain its current weight, and or it can be created by increasing your output/activity. What's a caloric maintenance?
Ooh, breaking even. It's the amount of calories your body needs in order to maintain its current state. So no change in body weight. Calories in are the same as calories out. It is a unique range or window that is special or unique to each individual.
Caloric surplus.
There we go.
Mickey's favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Funny thing with the surplus, it's actually more important in a surplus to be calculated than when in a deficit.
More precise with your calculations.
Yeah, because most people think like, oh, surplus, I'm gaining. Who cares? But it's actually when you have like the smallest tolerance.
Mm-hmm. Because you're pushing those calories as high as you can.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's when your body intakes more calories than it is required to maintain current weight. Can also be created if activity levels decrease and calories remain the same.
So basically, if you decided to keep eating the same amount and sit down and do nothing.
You see this a lot with like power lifters or or even like endurance athletes where it's like they're used to having a high demand on calories. They stop doing that exercise, they eat the same, and then later on they're considerably bigger.
Yes.
Causes weight gain.
Causes weight gain. All right, now how the heck are we going to actually hit your protein and calorie target? So we're going to dive into how to make that happen. First, we want to talk about how many calories is your protein taking up, because we want to make sure that we're hitting that protein minimum, right? So we want to figure out how much calories is that protein taking up. In order to calculate your protein calories, you take the total amount of protein you need to eat per day, and you're going to multiply that by 4, because there are 4 calories for every gram of protein. This is going to allow you to know how many calories your protein intake takes from your total calories, so that you can figure out the amount of carbs and fats that you need in the rest of your day. So if we take the example, eating 130 grams of protein per day, and we multiply that by 4 calories per gram, then our total protein calories are 520 calories. So our protein takes up 520 calories from our total calories. Next, how many calories do I have left to consume?
Oh, the difference.
The difference. So calories left to consume. So we're going to subtract your protein calories, which we just figured out, from your total daily calories to know how many calories you have left to consume from carbohydrates, fats, or even additional protein if you want. If we take our example of 1,200 calories, so if we have 1,200 calories for the entire day, and 520 of those calories are from protein, we do 1,200 minus 520, and we get 680 calories left to consume between carbohydrates and fats, or additional protein. How much protein should I eat per meal? So these are simple ways that you can kind of break that up. Some people have a very hard time in getting their protein, so it's very important that you spread it out throughout the meals. To give you an example here, you know exactly how many meals you like to eat each day. What we're going to do is we're going to take our daily total grams of protein and divide it by the number of meals you're going to eat each day to get the amount of protein per meal. If we have 130 grams of protein per day, and we're eating 3 meals per day, we do 130 divided by 3, and it's around 40 to 45 grams of protein per meal that we want to shoot for.
So it's a similar process to calculating everything when you did your calories. It's all right, cool. This is just prioritizing protein.
Now, how many meal calories are left once I've hit my protein target? First, we have to figure out how many calories you have in each meal, which is what we had done when we talked about hitting our meal calories. If you're eating 3 meals per day, and your daily calories are 1,200, 1,200 divided by 3, and we get 400 calories per meal. How many calories does protein take up in that meal? Well, we multiply the amount of protein you'll consume in that meal by 4, because it's 4 calories per gram, to get the total protein calories of that meal. If we have 40 grams of protein in a meal, we do 40 times 4, and we get 160 calories of protein in that meal. That means our remaining meal calories are, and this is how we calculate the remaining meal calories. We take the total calories in your meal minus the calories from your protein that you'll consume in that meal. So we have 400 calories in a meal.
There you go.
We're going to subtract 160 of those protein calories, and that leaves us with 240 calories left to consume in that meal from fats, carbohydrates, or additional protein. Couple of protein source tips. This is crucial for a lot of you out there who have trouble getting their protein in, or are new to the game and learning, like, what exactly is protein, or what makes up protein? Protein sources. So depending on your choice of protein, there is going to be varying amounts of proteins and fats in each one. Some protein sources can even have carbs within them, such as non-fat Greek yogurt, non-fat cottage cheese, breaded chicken, all of those types of things. And you're going to find those out when you begin to plug those into MyFitnessPal or Nutrition X or whatever.
You know, so even like a lot of people like, oh, like protein bar shakes, things like that. They're not just going to be protein. There will be carbs, there will be fat in there. So like if you're grabbing a protein bar, it's like 40 grams of protein on the front. There's other things in there as well. So like that's probably one when people are first getting started that slips through the cracks. Like, oh, I just grabbed a protein bar. It's like, be careful because it's very similar to like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, breaded chicken. There is other things in there.
Exactly. Easiest thing to do when you are first starting out on this journey, focus on single ingredient sources of protein such as meats and fish, because those are going to be mainly protein and fats with that. And do also check out our favorite food sources resource. We cover different types of like lean proteins, fattier proteins to help with that. Top tips with it, find 2 to 3 single ingredient protein sources that you enjoy to include in your intake that you can cycle through. Focus on eating lean protein. That's going to give you your biggest bang for your buck with it when it comes to protein and keeping the fats down, because fats will take up quite a bit of calories for you depending on the amount you're eating.
Make the meals a little more enjoyable because you have more going on.
Exactly. So lean proteins like white meats like chicken breast, chicken thighs, white fish such as tilapia, cod, sway, I don't know how you say it. And as I was saying earlier, you will learn what is in foods when you utilize your nutrition tracker. So when you start putting those in and picking different entries, you'll see what is in each of those things. Conclusion. First, we've got to determine how many calories your total daily protein intake takes up. Then you're going to determine how much protein you're going to eat per meal. Pick 2 to 3 of your favorite protein sources and start consuming them. And then stay within your daily calories while hitting your protein target each day to just, start moving towards your goals, changing that physique, and moving closer and closer, like I said, towards your goals. If you have any questions, be sure to submit them. We are here to help. This is a mastery. This is a skill that you're going to acquire. It is going to become second nature to you, but you have to practice and do it in order to become that.
And I know that this seems like a lot of information. Take it slow, break it down step by step. If you have questions, we're here to help.